Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lizzie and I am so happy to have you, and today I am bringing you all a brand new speed build. So today I am bringing you guys a CC free apartment build in San Myshuno, and I am super excited about this one. This one was a lot of fun for me to make, but before we get into the bulk of this video, my little disclaimer for today is that this layout is from Simlissy. So if you guys have not checked out her YouTube channel, you guys definitely should. Her layouts and floor plans are just amazing, and so I knew I just had to use this one for the family that I had in mind. So all credit goes to her for the layout and a couple of the ideas that I got for this build, including the front entryway. She put a little closet in there, and so I did the same thing. So yeah, all credit goes to her. You guys should definitely go check out her YouTube channel. She has been one of my favorite people to watch build for as long as I can remember now. So yeah, but getting into this build, this is a very rundown apartment, which you guys will see as the video progresses. I used a lot of wall decals to make it look really grungy and dirty and just like it was falling apart. So I'm guessing that's going to be a theme I'm going to have to kind of continue to use throughout this apartment complex. But this apartment is going to be for my CC free save file, which I am super excited about, and I got heavily inspired by watching a review of a new save file called the doo-doo save file, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure who it's by, but I'll try and remember to link it down below. But I do know the name of it is called the doo-doo save file, and I was watching a review of it, and a lot of the builds just looked so realistic, and so I wanted to kind of incorporate that into this build that you guys are seeing here today. And so I wanted to make it just look really realistic. And the family that I picture moving in here is a single parent. Specifically for my save file, it is going to be a single mom and her toddler son who are going to be living in this apartment. And I kind of picture the mom, her and her husband just got divorced, and so he is not very present in the child's life. He's not active in her life at all really anymore. I'm picturing maybe something to do with infidelity, like he was cheating on her and she caught him, and so they ended up getting a divorce, and she moved to the city and he moved, I'm thinking maybe like Windenburg or Oasis Springs. And he's actually going to be remarried and possibly have a child on the way, is kind of what I'm thinking for him. But she lives here in this really rundown apartment, and there are just a lot of problems. It needs TLC all of the time. I think it does have that lot trait, if I remember correctly. It's got mold and water issues, and the wallpaper's falling apart, and you can see the brick from underneath, and just it looks really dingy and gross on the walls. But I kind of love it because it really shows the financial situation of this mom and her son. So she is going to end up working 2 part-time jobs. She's going to work as a barista in the mornings, and then she's going to come home and spend a little bit of time with her son, and then she is going to work in a restaurant. Well, it's the part-time restaurant or food career, the part-time one. So I picture her maybe just being a waitress somewhere, and so she's going to do that in the evenings. And yeah, so she is going to have her neighbors. She's going to be really close with her neighbors, and they are going to, I believe I'm going to have them have a child around the same age, maybe a daughter or something, and they're going to offer to watch her son for her on the nights that she has to work and in the mornings. That way, he's not staying home by himself, which would be very unsafe. So they maybe have a toddler daughter and they babysit, and him and the toddler daughter can grow up together and essentially be really close. That's kind of what I am picturing for them. But yeah, she is definitely really struggling with money at the moment. She is just really stressed. I gave her the gloomy trait because unfortunately we don't have like a super stressed or anxious trait. So that's kind of the closest we can get to it. And so I just picture her being really overwhelmed all of the time, constantly having unpaid bills, constantly having like the water and electricity shut off, and her just doing absolutely everything she can to, make as much money as possible to keep her and her son afloat. And she obviously, her ex does not want custody of him. He's kind of just been like good riddance and not interested at all in being in the child's life, and so he sends them a really small, let's say, child welfare check. Unfortunately, we don't have that in the game. I do believe there is a mod for that, but we don't have it in the actual game. So obviously this would just be imagination wise, but he sends them a small amount of money every month, but again, not nearly enough to get them by. And I also included a food bowl in a litter box. You don't see me place down the litter box because I did forget until after I'd already ended the video and saved it. So but I did go back through and include a litter box in the build, so there is the possibility for this family to have a cat. I didn't make them have a cat yet, but I could see them possibly getting a cat or finding a stray or something, and so she takes it in. But it would also be really easy to remove that CC. I think there's just a scratching post, a bag of cat food, and a cat bowl in a litter box, so super easy to get rid of. But I wanted to make this build super cluttered, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It just feels so cozy and lived in, with still that kind of like broke, rundown feel to it. So yeah, I'm really excited with the way that this build turned out, and I actually had a ton of fun making it. It was super low stress. It took me like an hour, and yeah, I just had a complete blast, and I love the way that it turned out, like I said. So hopefully everything is functional in this build. I believe I have made a disclaimer of this before, but I do not go through and test my builds to see if they are playable. Unfortunately, I just do not have the time for that, so that has not been done for this build, but hopefully it is. And if you guys find any problems, I am more than happy for you guys to leave a comment in the comment box down below, and I can try and go in and fix it in the future and re-upload it to the gallery. But yeah, unfortunately this was not play tested, so hopefully everything works. I believe everything should work, so fingers crossed. A few things might need to be moved around. I prefaced this before, but this build does have the TLC lot trait, which means that things will break, including there's an electrical box and a like water pipe that oftentimes breaks in these apartments, and then you have to call your landlord and get them fixed. And there are objects blocking those, so that would be the only thing that you would probably have to move if or when those things break. But you can also remember, if you have the tool mod, or if you don't have the tool mod, this is a good thing to know. If you get it, you can remove those items using the tool mod, so then those things won't break and you won't have to worry about moving furniture around every time the electrical box or the water pipe needs to be fixed by the landlord. And I did use it in this build to remove the rat holes. I don't know if that transfers through on the gallery. I don't believe it does from what I know about the tool mod. So there will most likely be furniture blocking those rat holes as well, just something to preface. So I would highly recommend getting the tool mod, even if it's just to remove those items that might cause you problem and interfere with the furniture. But that is something that I will try to remember to leave an opening to in the future, but kind of with how small this build was, I just decided to not worry about it because they can be easily removed with the tool mod. So yeah, but you guys should definitely download that if you don't have it. It's a wonderful mod. It allows for so much customization, especially in the apartments. So 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend that mod. In other news, I have officially started my Cassandra Goth legacy on Tumblr, which is fantastic. I'm so excited. I have so many ideas going around in my head for this little story that I'm going to play through with her, and possibly for what my potential let's play will look like when the new pack comes out. And so I think I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that now. So right now, how I am playing the Reapers and Rewards challenge, and this might also be how I play with the new pack, is that Cassandra Goth is in high school. I have also turned Don Lothario and the two Caliente daughters into teenagers. Mary Sue or Mary Ann Pleasant, whatever her name is, will be turned into a teenager. And then we have Malcolm Landgrab, who is also a teenager. And they are all going to go to high school together. Cassandra Goth and Malcolm are going to be in a relationship. They're romantically involved. And then tragically, Malcolm Landgrab dies in a car accident on a super stormy, rainy night while his mother Nancy was driving the car. And so he ended up tragically passing away in this accident. Cassandra essentially kind of goes into hiding as is extremely depressed. She's already a super gloomy sim, so this just kind of added on to that. And she's just kind of hiding out. And all of the sims that I mentioned before, Don Lothario, the Caliente sisters, and Mary Sue Pleasant, I think is her name, were all this big friend group. And Malcolm and Dawn do not get along because Dawn has a secret crush on Cassandra. Malcolm kind of figured it out, typical boy situation. And Cassandra's just like, no, he's annoying, it doesn't matter, whatever. So now Malcolm's dead, and Cassandra gets a mysterious letter and box in the mail, and the letter basically says something about ambrosia and how Cassandra should really do some research and look into it, and then they also deliver her the gramophone. So Cassandra starts doing some research. She's extremely smart, she loves books, she's an A student in school, she just does a ton of research on her own anyway. She's really well-rounded and knows a lot about a lot of different things. So she starts doing all of this crazy research into this mysterious thing called ambrosia, and then goes and tells all of her friends at school about it, and is like, I have found this thing, and everything online says that it's this mythical, I think it's a potion maybe, this mythical potion or recipe that can bring back the dead. And I got this weird gramophone in the mail, and it's all just so weird. So they go out one night and they decide to go to a carnival, and Cassandra Goth sees that there is a fortune teller there, and so she goes, and the fortune teller isn't there, but they've got a seance table, and so they brought the gramophone and they start messing around trying to contact the spirits, and then all of a sudden the Grim Reaper appears, and that's essentially where I am in my current gameplay right now, is that the Grim Reaper has just appeared, and we'll kind of see how that progresses throughout with the Reaper's Reward challenge. But essentially she's going to be able to use this to bring Malcolm back from the dead. And in my last speed build, the Goth Manor, I kind of talked about some other ideas that I had for a future Let's Play. kind of revolving around the same story and other ideas that I might use in the future, specifically ideas that I got from reading background on Cassandra Goth in The Sims 2. So yeah, I have lots of exciting ideas, but that's essentially where I am at right now. So if you guys are interested in kind of keeping up with the progress of that, feel free to go check it out on my Tumblr. Otherwise, I might use some of these ideas for the new pack, depending on what is included in the new pack, or I might just pick up where I left off. So yeah, we'll just kind of have to see. I am super excited to learn more about the new pack and see, you know, what it's going to include and how we might be able to use it for storytelling and gameplay, and how it's going to kind of flesh out the game a little bit more. Because to be totally honest with you guys, I have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with this pack. I have no clue how they are going to incorporate gameplay and really flesh this thing out. So that is something that I am super excited to see them do. But we are nearing the end of this video. Keep in mind, this video is pre-recorded, as well as my next video will be pre-recorded, as well as I am out of the country currently. So just keep that in mind. I will still be trying to keep up with comments and things, but if for some reason any of your comments go unanswered for a short period of time, I will get back to them as soon as I am back in the US. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. If you did enjoy this speed build, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Spend every day